Hello, I'm Esther from Gather and Create. A very warm welcome if it's your first time here, and a very warm welcome back if you are returning. So today I'm going to continue my Crafter's Companion Gemini Peekaboo series, and they are designed to work with the window arches, but I'm going to do something a little bit different today and use circles. So we're not going to have it quite as peekaboo as an open window, but it's still going to be very cute, and it's a different way to use your stamps and dies. So you're going to need a 5x5 white card to start with. And you're going to need some circle dies. Mine are from Stampin' Up, and they contain scallop circles as well. And the one that I'm using measures around 3 inches. So you're going to place that slightly further down your card, because you need space at the top for the sentiment and the bear word. So a little bit further down, but I haven't measured anything, I'm doing that by eye. Just get it as centered as you can. If you really want to use a ruler, go ahead. And just grabbing some low tack tape, which you have to de-tack a little bit more, just to take that down before I pop it through my die cutting machine. Just grabbing my plates, just make the normal sandwich for Gemini. Loving my Gemini die cutting machine. It's saved me a lot of cranking of the handles. It's so precise as well, and just cuts through beautifully. Can't show it off too well with just a circle, but it really does. So just carefully peel that away now. And you have your aperture card. And you're going to need that scallop. I have pre-made mine, but I'll show you how it's done. So you're going to need the scallop circle, which is around just a tad bigger than the 3 inches, and then the 2 3/4 inch approximately circle. So you're just going to lay them together again, get them centered, and again tape them down. And that is going to give you your scallop circle. And I added some cute little white dots with a Signo white gel pen, which I thought really added a nice touch. It's one of the reasons that I made it ahead of time as well, because I didn't want those white dots to smudge, because the adorable Scorable is like a shiny surface. So to make the bear words, you're going to grab your bear die from the set. So we're not using it as you would traditionally inside one of those window arches. I'm going to use the letters individually. So I did make those ahead of time already, using the Rose Blush Adorable Scorable and a black card. You're going to layer them so that you've got the black on top, but just a little bit of that pink poking through. So I'll show you how it's done. So just cut those twice out your colours that you need. And then while you've still got those pieces of card on the bottom, while they're still attached, this is the easiest time to glue them together. So you just add your glue more carefully than I'm doing here to quickly show you. You kind of got a handle then to attach those, and just slide them until you've got the right amount for your liking of the other colour showing through at the bottom, just to offset it as much or as little as you want. And then you're going to take your scissors and just cut those letters out. So the very bottom edge of the letters you won't see because you're going to have your scallop circle over the top. So don't worry too much, you just want to snip a little bit off to get them loose. So that is how you do that. So with your, I'll just demonstrate how you're going to put your letters on. When you originally made your aperture card with that 3-inch circle, you get like a halo around the aperture, like an indentation that the circle die has left behind. And I don't think you can really see it on camera. But I used that little indentation line as my marker of where I'm going to put my letters. And then you've got them at the right height, and it just helps you to space them more easily. So using that little line, you'll see when you make your own, you're going to just use that as your reference point to add your letters. My fingers are a bit sticky and gluey. The letters keep sticking to me. But I'm sure you get the idea. And then you would lay your scallop circle just over the top like that. Just making sure you haven't really hidden the letters. Let's make our little bear head now. I'm not using the die, I'm going to fussy cut it this time because I don't want the white kind of halo that comes around it. And I'm not using the bear body, but you could pop that on the inside of your card if you wanted to. So with just some white card, I'm using the same card actually. This is what I cut off my A4 card to make my card base. I'm using as my piece of card to stamp the bear onto. And I am using Memento Tuxedo Black because I'm going to colour in with alcohol markers, and that ink is alcohol marker compatible. So I wasn't too happy with the first impression, so let's go for that again. Then it's going to be time to colour in. I'm using Oleep Markers, which I bought very inexpensively from Amazon, and you get tons of colours. I like them actually, they're pretty nice alcohol markers if you're not massively into professional artwork. If you just want to colour in your stamps like I'm doing, then I think they're perfect. So the colour I'm using first is number 29 Barely Beige. I'm doing the whole bear in that. you've got two ends as well. You've got a fine tip end and then you've got a chisel end. So now I'm grabbing number 36. Oh, sorry, no, I'm grabbing the black first, 120. I'm just going over the nose a little bit more because it just missed off a couple of spots. I'm just redefining the nose a little bit. Then I'm going to go in with number 36, cream. Just adding some definition here. So going all the way around his face, a bit on his ears, a little bit on his paws. And then number 84, which is pastel violet, inside the ears, the cheeks and the edges of the paws. So the cheeks, you're literally going to do a dot on each cheek. And then I'm going back over with the first colour, number 29, Burly Beige, all over again, just to blend those edges. So I've got no harsh lines. So just going to bring back in my white gel pen, the same one as I used on the scallop circle, and I'm just going to do one dot inside each rosy cheek. And he's ready to cut out. So let's zip through that process. Next I'm going to add some pattern paper, and I'm using Wild Prints by Papermania. I've used this on another one of my peekaboo tutorials as well. This one's quite a faint pattern on one side, just a very fine grey stripe, and then it's a bit busier on the other side. And I've cut that down to 5 by 5 to match the card size. The paper pad itself is 6 by 6. I do believe it comes in a 12 by 12 as well. So on the inside of the card, just go around the edge to glue your paper down. Need to grab my glue eraser because there's just a little mark left from the low-tack tape. It came off pretty easily. Just get prepped for some more stamping. So we've got I just can't, and then the word bear, and then in the middle, to be without you. And I'm switching ink this time to Vesafine, which works better for sentiment, especially when they're quite a fine font like these are. And that's going top left hand corner. You could use a stamping platform here as well. And now for the to be without you part. Tiny splodge, we'll ignore that. So now it's time to glue those letters on in the way that I showed you before, just following that line. So this is the third video that I've done in this series. It's the first one I've done slightly differently to how it was designed to be used. It seemed like a good sentiment for the times that we're in at the moment. Okay, just make sure you're nicely lined up. It's time to add some ribbon. It's going to go onto the scallop circle. And this particular one is polka dot tulle ribbon from Stampin' Up. Bows never like to tie nicely when you're filming. It's like a law. Never work with children, animals or ribbon. So this particular ribbon, don't pull it too tight to start with because it will just tie in a knot and you won't be able to undo it. Like with the other ribbons that aren't this tulle, you can sort of manipulate it a bit more. Pull it tight, loosen it again, but this won't let you do that, so just be mindful of that. So I've literally just added the ribbon before I glue that circle on, and get the tails where you want them so that you're not going to obstruct any of the sentiment. Just fluff it out as you need to. Sorry, I'm fiddling with it a lot. Just wanted to get that right. If I wasn't filming, I probably would have fiddled with it for a lot longer. But apologies that I spent a bit of time on this. You snip those tails and get it glued on. Card is almost done, guys. It's a good stamp set for Father's Day coming up as well. You've got a Papa Bear, you've got Papa sentiment in there, so you can do Papa Bear. So it's the star of the show needs to go on now. Just making sure I'm not obstructing too much of those letters with my scallop circle. And I'm just going to grab a foam pad to pop up the little bear. There he is. Looking at the window, missing his friends. And then you've got the nice pattern paper on the inside, which I think is quite a nice touch. You can add a sentiment in there as well if you wish. Just adjust that circle a bit. And that's it, all done. I hope I've inspired you to give them a try in a slightly different way today. And if you haven't seen the other two videos, give those a watch too. I will link them in the description below. Thanks ever so much for watching. It's great to see you.